Hello guys, JONBO here. Welcome to Warriors 6.0 where I'll be covering the arms guide today. Just enjoy my coffee. So, what we're going to do is we're going to cover very quickly the stats, talent tree, glyphs, that sort of stuff. And then I'm going to skim the rotation because, to be honest with you, there isn't a rotation, pretty much. So what we're going to do first is cover the talent tree. So on the talent tree I have gone for Juggernaut because double time is good, but I just don't like the thought of having a 20-second window where I can't charge. Warbringer sucks. It's a 20-second cooldown, but you do get a stun. It's a bit of a pain. Juggernaut roots target and it's only 12 seconds. Juggernaut is the best one because at least you get to keep on the target. On the next tier we're going for Enraged Regeneration. This is actually more viable now because we got, well, no health. Second Wind is no longer any good because it shows you heal yourself for 10% of the damage done. So if you hit for 100k, 1k, sorry, keep thinking of the old expansion. If you hit for 1k, you'll heal yourself for 100 health, which isn't great. Impending Victory isn't bad. It's better for a PvE thing, not PvP. Enraged Regeneration, you can use it while stunned, heals you for 10%, and then it heals you for additional overtime, as it shows there. So that's those two tiers. Next tier is tier 45, where you have Taste for Blood, Sudden Death, Slam. Slam, I'm not even going to look at because I've used it a few times and tend to find it hits like a wet lettuce. If you find you're sat there with nothing to do and you don't want to use Whirlwind, Slam is maybe something you want to look into, just to test it. Try it and see how you feel about it. Personally, I'm not keen on it. Sudden Death, basically your auto attacks have a 20% chance to make your next execute, cost no initial rage, consume no extra rage, and be usable on the target regardless of health. This thing is insane. Basically, if it does proc, it hits like a truck. So what you got to do is try and get it to proc as much as possible. With the spec I'm going for here, I'm actually going for burst. This is a burst spec. So next, oh yeah, let's go for Taste for Blood quickly. Taste for Blood, every time your Rend ticks, you gain 3 rage. Now you can put that on multiple targets. It's good for AoE. You basically put it on a load of targets, Whirlwind till Christmas, and you basically got loads of rage still at the end of it. Just make sure to reapply Rend, which is on a 25-ish second cooldown. Just make sure to reapply it. Level 60 tier, you have Stormbolt, Shockwave, and Dragon Roar. Stormbolt is good for targets at a distance if you're on single target. Shockwave is good if you've got AoE. 3 or more, you reduce it down to 20 seconds, so that's good. Dragon Roar is obviously, it doesn't come into PvP really because you do no damage with it. PvE, however, there is some scope. If you're doing PvE and it's a mob, personally I'd go Shockwave because Dragon's Roar is a 1-minute cooldown, whereas if you got a mob of 3 or more, you're on a 20-second cooldown. That means you can use it umpteen times in comparison. Stormbolt is really good as normal. Deals quadruple damage to the target if they're permanently immune to stuns. See, that's not bad. And that's that tier. That is completely down to your discretion of what you need at the time. Level 75 tier, basically we've got Mass Spell Reflex, Safeguard, and Vigilance. Vigilance reduces damage taken by a person by 30% and allows you to taunt forever. Safeguard, you reduce the damage taken by that person for 20% for 6 seconds. This one's on 2-minute cooldown, so it's out the window. This one's on 30-second cooldown. And Mass Spell Reflect, which I've been using and I've found it quite useful. It replaces your normal Spell Reflect, but it gives you a Spell Reflect for everybody within 20 yards, the last 5 seconds, and it's quite effective. Now, as I said to you before, I'm going for the burst, so I've picked Avatar. Avatar increases damage done by 20% for 24 seconds. This thing means that your hits will hit like an absolute truck. The other 2 abilities are Bloodbath, which puts a dot on the target over 12 seconds, and Blade Storm, which is on a 1-minute cooldown, and it's good. It depends on what you need to do. If you are going, for example, as I said before, if you're doing an AoE fight, you can get the charge in, taste of blood on everybody. You can do a thunderclap. You could do a dragon roar or a shockwave into a blade storm. As long as you got your bleeds up, you're going to be hitting everything basically. Level 100 talents haven't come out yet because obviously we are only level 90 at the moment. When level 100 comes out, I will be doing another guide on that, God help me. But for now we're doing that. So that is the talents. What we're going to look at now quickly is the glyphs. Now I'm testing Thunderclap. Feel free to test other things like Rude Interruption, Spell Reflection. If you've got Mass Spell Reflect, there's no point. Unending Rage, there's no point again because you've got too much rage. Victory Rush isn't too bad depending on what you're doing, but basically, yeah, you can pick anything here and just see what it's like, because at the end of the day, it's a new expansion, everything's new. What else am I using? I'm using Mortal Strike and I'm using Bull Rush for the additional rage. So that's those done. Rotation is very simple. Colossal Smash is on a 20-second cooldown, so you get that thing down first. Mortal Strike is on a 5-second cooldown, or 5.5-second cooldown, so you put that thing down. Now, if you're using the... I can never remember the darn name of this ability. If you're using Sudden Death, Execute, you're going to pretty much hope it procs. If not, you're going to be gap filling with Whirlwind if you've got the rage. Forgot to mention, before you'd put obviously Colossal and Mortal and everything else down, you would put a Rend on the target. The reason why I keep forgetting to mention that is because Rend is part of my charge. I will show you my macros towards the end. So you charge Rend, Hamstring, because it's all on off the global cooldown, so they both instantly proc. And then you Colossal Smash, Mortal Strike, and if your Execute, procs, use that. If it doesn't, you got Shockwave, you got Whirlwind. The end. There isn't much of a rotation, to be honest with you. There are a few little abilities I will try and show you. One of them is, so I'll show you my charge now. I'll do it on this dummy here. Ignore the damage. Oh, great. I'm in a stink bomb. I smell horrible. So yeah, ignore the damage. I'm hitting a level 85 dummy. I don't want to hit this guy because half the time I dodge on him. So here we go. So also, Battle Shout and God knows what else is spammable now, so you can just sit there and spam it forever. Generates no rage, so it's a pain. So get the charge off. As you can see, I put both up straight away. Now I'm going to pop Recklessness with Shockwaves. Colossal Smash, Mortal Strike. I am way too far zoomed in. Let's try and zoom out. There you go. So, as you can see, that's my rotation, and then I'm just going to fill it with Whirlwind. So you need to keep these two abilities up, fill it with whatever you can, and just make sure you don't race stuff. Now, as you can see, I'm hitting like an absolute truck. This is because, for some reason, the dummies are a bit glitched at the moment. Anyway, I should just try that again. So if I charge, you can see both abilities come on at once. It's very, very simple. And there's nothing to it really. And that's it, you keep these two abilities up and you wait for Execute to proc. And if it doesn't, you just Whirlwind, and Whirlwind, and Whirlwind. And when you finish Whirlwinding, you Whirlwind. That's your rotation. It literally is that. Now if you've got Slam, then obviously you use Slam, you just generate it, and you generate your rage, and you watch what your rage is when you're slamming. Make sure you don't overlap these two. If you're using the Rend ability, you would go around and you just literally Rend, and then you Rend, and then you Rend, and then that's it. You basically sit here with unlimited rage, just Whirlwinding, while these guys tick on damage, as you can see there. So that's that. Now, the stats have changed. Now, if you look at the top, if you look on my character enhancements, you're gonna notice if I take Battle Shout off, I'm unbuffed, and I'm sat on 101% mastery because mastery's changed. I can go more mastery, but I'm just a bit dubious about doing it. Basically, mastery has changed. Mastery now increases the damage for Mortal Strike, Colossal Smash, and Execute abilities by the amount of mastery you have. I have 101%, so it increases mine by 101%. This is why I have gone down this tier here with sudden death, because obviously my mastery is increasing my execute by 101%. Simple as, basically. You no longer have hidden expertise. That's just a natural thing. You have multi-strike, versatility and everything else. They haven't even come out yet. It's a natural buff where I receive 3.96% versatility. And that's pretty much everything. As you can see, crit's gone up as well. Crit is good, don't get me wrong. I was sat on 34% crit. Haste is now effective. It actually reduces the cooldown on your mortal strike, but as you've got no other abilities, I don't see it as useful as of yet. So that is pretty much everything in a nutshell at this point in time in history. When the next patch comes out and the expansion is fully released, I'll go into another in-depth guide on the warriors. But for now, if you've enjoyed what you've seen, if you have any questions or anything I missed out on, speaking of missed out, I'm just going to chuck this in very quickly. I have some useful macros. Literally, as I was just saying that, it popped into my head. So I've got some useful macros to show you. I will put a link hopefully in the bottom below. I will edit that out. So useful macros to show. Right. So we have this one here. So I'll let you read it first. So it is show tooltip, shield barrier, equip Prideful Gladiator's render, equip Prideful Gladiator's shield wall, cast defense stance, shield barrier, and the battle stance on the bottom isn't necessary, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm going to take it off right now. That's how useless it is. So safe. So what's this do? What is the point of this? I'll show you very quickly. What it is a very simple ability. So Shield Barrier is an ability you can use in defensive stance to reduce your damage taken. What I'm going to do is try and generate some rage quickly. Right, just to get a charge on. Oh yes, of course. So we're just going to wait 25 minutes to generate some rage. Okay, so my rage is now 100%. And now I'm going to press this ability, which is this one here. As you can see, it says I can't use it because I need to be in defensive stance. So if I press the button, as you can see, equips sword and shield. And now I have a buff for shield barrier for 5k. That's what it does. It just means that if you are fighting, if you are in a PvP scenario, you'll heal. I am using one hand, a fist weapon. I will be changing it at some point. Yeah, so that's basically what it does. This is one of my little macros. I've got a couple more macros of use. The other one is this one here, battle stance. I tried to fit it in somewhere else. What this one does is when I press it, as you'll see now, it equips my weapon and puts me back into battle stance. Simple as. So you can just jump in if you get into a situation, apart from not generating any rage, if you get into a situation where sometimes sweet please, thank you, you need to heal, you just jump, you can do, even when you're fighting, press a button, barrier comes up, shields out, and you just take less damage for that period of time. You can reapply this as much as you want. How much rage depends on how much your barrier goes up by, I believe. Also, Colossal Smash you can't use when you're in this stance, so you can technically fight like this. Obviously it's a lot slower, and when you want to, you just switch back straight away. No need to do the jump to make any difference. Anyway, so that's that there. The other one I have for you is my charge macro. Where are you? Heroic Leap. Yeah, my Heroic Leap is Heroic Leap and Trinket, but it's kind of macroed in together. Shift modifier, don't worry about that. Where are you? Really, where are you? There you are. Okay, so the reason why it looks like this is it's a fairly complicated one. It basically means set focus. So if I'm hitting him, I can then hold shift, press, and I'll hit him. If I hold shift and press, I put both Hamstring and Rend on without ever targeting, as you can see. Keeps ticking off, as you can see there. Show you again. So see, we put some dots on, and that's just by holding shift. It puts both onto both targets, just like that. This will be in the link. Well, this will be in the description below, and obviously I've got start attack there. So say I am just stood here like this, and I press it, I instantly go into attack. Opposed to sometimes it bugs out where you don't attack, which is really annoying. Any other useful macros? Yes, I've got a shift modifier for pummel, which means basically I can press it and pummel like that. I've also got one for storm bolt and intimidating shout. Everything does exactly as you'd expect it to do, basically. I don't know why I've got a flipping spell reflect one still. That's been on. I've had that for so long. Right, and that's a heroic throw one. As you can imagine, does exactly as it says on the tin. Right. Yeah, that used to be for intervene as well. There you go. So, any questions, anything you're unsure of on Arms Warrior, if you've got anything you'd like to say or see, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you like what you saw, you want to see more, remembering there will be one coming out when we hit level 100, or when I hit level 100. There will also be an arms guide coming out. There will be a single-minded fury guide coming out when I get the ability to get the second one-handed weapon. And I probably maybe sort of kind of may do a tank guide. Bear in mind, this is not a how to survive tank guide. This is how to do as much damage as possible. Because I am a damage dealer. I love dealing damage. If I'm not dealing damage, then I'm not being me. And look at my nice hair. See how it flows? Yeah, I had to change my character's face. Anybody else have to change their character's face when the new expansion came out? I looked at my guy and he looked like a flipping 60-year-old who's ready to have a heart attack and keel over. And now he has. Let's go zoom in on his face. Oh, too far. There you go. He's semi-translucent. Ooh. There you go, that'll do. So, he now has a different face. He looks like he's had plastic surgery. Anybody else had to change their face? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, guys, till next time, or the next guide, enjoy.